Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. The last time, we had a confrontation with a red Gyarados in the Lake of Rage. Very cool. We also made our way here into the Team Rocket hideout in the basement of the very suspicious souvenir shop in Mahogany Town. We also had a bit of an unexpected evolution in the form of Feraligatr. Very cool indeed. Anyway, this time we are going to be continuing on with our conquest of the Team Rocket hideout, so let's head down into the second floor. Are you alright? Your Pokemon are hurt and tired. No, they're not. I went back and healed them. Here, give them some of my medicine. And he will give you a free full heal of your team right here if you need it, which I don't. David, let's give it our best for Pokemon. And off he goes. Now, one interesting detail about this floor, as you can see, it's actually aesthetically different from the first floor. Like, the walls are different, the floors are different. Really not sure why that is, and in the remake, all three floors look exactly the same. And yes, there are 3 floors to this place because things always come in threes. I think we can all agree that that is a fact of life. Anyway, I have Heracross in the front because Heracross is actually the lowest leveled member of our team at level 25. And I'd really like to give it some experience. The way I usually like to organize my team whenever I'm playing a Pokemon game is I have the weakest member of the team in the front, and then the second weakest member of the team, which is Eevee in this case, gets the experience share, as you can see right there. Alright, next up is another Venonat, which is not really surprising. Honestly, Team Rocket Grunts, they're not very creative in the Pokemon that they tend to use. Also, I really like Venonat's animation when it comes out of its Pokeball, how its eyes sort of flicker. I think that's a really neat little detail. I really like the animated sprites in Pokemon Crystal, and I feel like they didn't really reach this level of quality, like, pretty much ever again, because, like, I think Crystal had the best sprites in the entire series, and then they switched over to 3D models, which isn't really the same thing. Anyway, beat that guy, and it's worth noting you're probably tempted to come check over here for an item, but I'm telling you right now, there is nothing. Oh well. Anyway, right over here we have a second Team Rocket Grunt. The door won't open. Well, duh, it has to have a password that only Team Rocket knows. Yep, on this floor you will probably notice that there seems to be a bit of a generator, which is presumably making the strange signal that is agitating the Magikarp at the Lake of Rage. Unfortunately, we cannot get in there at the moment because, as he said, we are going to need a password in order to get inside. Definitely worth keeping in mind. Alright, got a Golbat right here, gonna give it another Horn Attack, and that's gonna bring it down pretty quickly, and again with the pointless criticals. Ay. And down he goes. Not too much of a deal. What? I lost? Yes indeed, sir. You did lose. Anyway, this is the door he's referring to, and you can see that generator in there. The door is closed. It needs a password to open. So yeah, we're gonna have to go on a hunt for a password for that door. So let's head down onto the 3rd floor. It takes 2 passwords to get into the boss's quarters. Those passwords are only known to a few rockets. That rocket there very graciously told me so. Oh really? David, let's go get the passwords. And off he goes. And I don't think this one will actually fight us. Oh, the guy in the cape is incredibly tough. Yes, indeed. He very much so is. Alright, we are now on the 3rd basement floor. I used to work for Silph, but now I run research for Team Rocket. A meddlesome child like you needs to be punished. Now, as a side effect of this being the first Pokemon game I ever played, when he said he worked for Silph, that didn't really click to me that was actually a reference to the first game in the series, but it actually was, because Silph Company is a company that Team Rocket tried to take over back in Red, Blue, and Yellow. So yeah, really neat little reference there, although it was pretty lost on me when I first played the game, just because I hadn't played the first games first. And we are poisoned, which is really quite unfortunate. I do not want to have to deal with that throughout this area. So I think as soon as we beat this guy, we're probably going to head back and heal. But first things first, I think I'm going to switch over to Cubone, because Cubone is very, very well equipped to take out this coughing right here. Alright, and I have to say, Bone Meringue is actually a really, really good move when it manages to hit. Like, look at that. Half health, but then it hits again, and brings it down in basically one shot. Real nice right there. And we have defeated Scientist Ross. A mere tactical error cost me. Oh, I love these guys. I really do. Anyway, I'm gonna go heal off this poisoning before things get any worse. Alright, back down to the basement floor, and I think we should take out the rest of the guys in this room, although the only other person in this room is actually a girl, not a guy, so... Do I know the password? Maybe. But no weakling's going to get it. I love that line. It's another one of those lines that really stuck to me, like, throughout the years of having played this game. Anyway, got an Ekans right here, Ekans, or whatever, I don't know how you pronounce it. I pronounced it with an E instead of an E when I first played the game, so I sort of am partial to that one. Anyway, let's see if we can take it out in one shot. We can, very nice. Looks like Heracross is pretty close to level 26, which is going to be really nice. Alright, got a Gloom coming out next. I think this might be the first time we've ever encountered a Gloom, and I gotta say, there are still some sprite limitations in this game, as you can see. Most of the colors are pretty accurate to what they are in later games, but Gloom has kind of got a really crappy sprite in this game, I gotta say, because it's only 2 colors. Seems really weird. Alright, stop, I'll tell you. Speak to her again. The password to the boss's room is Slowpoke Tail, but it's useless unless you have 2 passwords. Now, unfortunately, it's not like there's a panel where we type in the passwords, it's just, oh, your character knows the passwords, boop, let him in. So, even though I have prior knowledge of what the 2 passwords are, we do actually have to go and get them before we are allowed to proceed any further. Anyway, had a full heal back there and an ice heal right here, which is really good. Head down this way, and there's even more stuff for us. We got a scientist. I don't care that Pokemon are hurt by our experiment. Yeah, this jerk. This guy's mean. He says really mean things about Pokemon, and we have to put a stop to it. Scientist Mitch. Kinda reminds me of, that one kid in A Christmas Story, like one of the bullies. I'm pretty sure his name was Mitch, and that guy was a jerk. So, no offense to anyone named Mitch, but I feel like that movie gave everyone some, poor associations to that name. Anyway, right here we do have Ditto, and it transformed into our Heracross, and this is one of the things that I really like about Ditto. In Generation 2 only, no matter what it transforms into, it'll stay purple, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, Ditto will copy movesets, but I'm pretty sure its stats will stay the same. Thinking is my strong suit, not battling. And by stats, I mean it will still have the same effort values and individual values. Its base stats will obviously change to the target, but everything else will stay the same. And now, this guy. Yuck. You're challenging me to a battle? Ha, you're nuts, but you have guts. I like that. If you can beat me, I'll tell you a password to the boss's room. The Hyuk Guy. We meet again. Man, I don't even know if there's an actual official name for this guy, but he always stuck out to me. Like, for real. Just because of that opening line of his, and I always just call him the Hyuk Guy. I look forward to him every playthrough, and longtime fans of the channel will be aware of my infatuation for this guy's dialogue. It's hilarious. I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, he himself doesn't put up too much of a challenge, and Heracross gets level 26. I was hoping Eevee would get a level 2, but oh well. Hyuk, you're good. Oh, this guy, and I think if we speak to him again, Hyuk. The password to the boss's room. I think it's Raticate Tail. These Team Rocket guys have a thing for tails. I wonder if there's something that they need to tell us. Anyway, right there we have an X special, and right around here we have a protein. Very good. And I believe that is every single regular trainer on this floor. Yeah, continuing the tradition, the Rocket Hideout actually isn't all that big once you get past the first floor, and the first floor is incredibly easy if you skip a lot of things. But like once you get over everything, you on the first floor, this place goes really quickly. Anyway, there's a hidden full heal right here, which is definitely worth pointing out, because full heals, you can never have too many of those, and it's nice to just get that one right there for free. Loop around here. Luckily, this guy will turn to me. Okay, there we go. Oh, a kid? I don't really like this, but eliminate you I must. Worth noting, he will only do that exclamation point thing when you're standing smack dab in front of him, so that you don't get trapped in that little hallway right there. So, yeah, nice little courtesy that they do right there. Anyway, sending out a Heracross right here. I think a Horn attack will definitely do this thing in pretty quickly. Yeah, one-shot it again. Alright. And Eevee gets level 27, very good. Unfortunately, it is not quite yet ready to learn the move I want it to learn. I'm pretty sure it learns that move at level 28 or 29. So, yeah, Eevee's getting some really, really good growth here in the Team Rocket Hideout now that we have a hold of that experience share. Man, I missed having that item. It's really, really, really nice to have it again. Alright, next up is another Rattata. Yeah, these guys are using just like the most common of common Pokemon. Team Rocket Grunts are never really too threatening, which is unfortunate because their music gets you so hyped up. But like, they're pretty much never any challenge. I knew I'd lose. See? Even he knows it. Even he knows that all the Team Rocket Grunts are just really bad at their job. Anyway, we're back down on the third floor. And back up to the second floor, we can loop around and we can grab this, TM46, which contains Thief. That is a move that can actually steal the opponent's held item and give it to yourself, which can be very useful for wild Pokemon that hold items when you encounter them. Didn't I tell you that I was going to destroy Team Rocket? Tell me, who was the guy in the cape who used Dragon Pokemon? My Pokemon were no match at all. I don't care that I lost. I can beat him by getting stronger Pokemon. It's what he said that bothers me. He told me that I don't love and trust my Pokemon enough. I'm furious that I lost to a bleeding heart like him. I don't have the time for the likes of you. Honestly, that whole interaction, a lot of people say that little interaction there isn't really too terribly necessary, but it always really stuck out to me just because he uses the term bleeding heart in an E-rated Pokemon game. Kinda crazy. Anyway, right over here, we have, I believe, the last item just lying around in this entire place, an Ultra Ball. And we also have a locked door. Try as you might, if you bring the 2 passwords that you learned to the door on the second floor, they won't work. Those passwords are actually for this door. The door is closed. David entered the 2 passwords. The door opened. Oh, it's like magic. And right here... What? Who are you? This is the office of our leader, Giovanni. Since disbanding Team Rocket 3 years ago, he has been in training. But we're certain he will be back someday to assume command again. That's why we're standing guard. I won't let anyone disturb this place. This is our first instance of a Team Rocket executive. And as you can see, or rather hear, since he is not a Team Rocket grunt, he plays the normal battle music. Yeah, a little bit of a strange oversight that was fixed in the remake. Also worth noting in the remake, this guy actually has a name. He is Rocket Executive Petrel, and he has an affinity for cosplay of all things. Anyway, he's going to start off with a Zubat level 22 with the moves Leech Life, Bite, Supersonic, and Confuse Ray. So, yeah, pretty standard Zubat. And, true to their name, they just go down in one hit. Alright, next up is a Coughing. I think we're going to switch over to Cubone for this one. This Coughing is also level 22, and it has the moves Smog, Tackle, Sludge, and Self-Destruct. Now, we were introduced to Self-Destruct last episode, but this move is actually pretty interesting. It has a whopping power of 200. However, in all Pokemon games up until like X and Y, I think, self-destruct actually inflicts damage on the opponent as if their defense were halved, so it effectively has a power of 400. And of course, since the move is so strong, it has to have some backlash, so it will automatically KO the user. There is a more powerful version of this move called Explosion, and that move is actually 250 power, but it effectively has a power of 500 because it also inflicts damage as if the target's defense were halved. So yeah, really, really crazy stuff. Those moves hurt a lot. I think it was in X and Y where they finally changed it so that the defense halving didn't happen. But yeah, for right now, this move is scary, and you do not want to get hit by either of them. Anyway, he sent out Eradicate right there, which I totally forgot to give the team of. Level 24, Hyper Fang, Quick Attack, Scary Face, and Tail Whip. Pretty standard stuff. I couldn't do a thing. Giovanni, please forgive me. And he will fork over the cash. No, I can't let this affect me. I have to inform the others. I love that little scene right there. Anyway, you're not really given much of a directive on what to do now, but if you go over here and check out this bird, it is a Murkrow. The password is Hail Giovanni. Yep, he actually taught this Murkrow to talk because Chatot is not a thing in this game yet, so they had to settle for the next best thing. Anyway, once you've done that, you want to navigate your way back through the hideout back over to this door, and Hail Giovanni is the password that will open this door. So let's give it a shot. The door's closed. David entered the password. The door opened. Very nice. Walk inside. Hold it right there. We can't have a brat like you on the loose. It's harmful to Team Rocket's pride, you see. However strong you may be, you can't take both of us at the same time because double battles were not a thing in this game. So, yep, we're screwed. Sorry, baby. Now get ready to be thrashed. However... Hey, don't be so selfish. Spread the fun around. What? You had an accomplice? Where's your sense of honor? As the interim boss in place of Giovanni, I'll show you how wrong it is to meddle with Team Rocket. And here we go. In the remake, this is actually a double battle where you partner up with Lance and you take on both of these characters. However, in this one, for whatever reason, we get the executive, Lance gets the grunt. Because reasons. This executive also has a name in the remake. This executive's name is Ariana. She opens up with an Arbok, level 23, with the moves Leer, Bite, Wrap, and Poison Sting. Honestly, not that threatening, really. So let's just try and take it out. And it actually took less than half of its health from that Horn attack, which is honestly surprising. But I mean, it is a fully evolved Pokemon, so I suppose that is to be expected, and we finally get the flinch on Horn attack. I feel like that happens a lot less often than it realistically should. Although watch, someone in the comments is going to crunch the numbers and it'll happen exactly as often as it should. Alright, next up is Murkrow. This Murkrow is level 25 with the moves Peck, Haze, and Pursuit. No word on if this Murkrow is the same one as the one in the basement or not, and yet this is another instance of a Pokemon that we're not going to have an opportunity to actually catch for a while, yet the game's just dangling it in front of our faces. Although in Generation 2, Murkrow isn't as good as it gets in later games. Now, Pursuit is an interesting move. It's a Dark-type move that deals normal damage, normal priority, and all that stuff. But if the target is attempting to switch on the turn that it's used, it will actually attack before the switch occurs and do double damage, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, last up, we have Gloom. Level 23 with the moves Sweet Scent, Absorb, Acid, and Sleep Powder. So yeah, kind of scary. This thing can put you to sleep, poison you, and drain your health, and also do whatever Sweet Scent does. Alright, so we're going to take an Acid to the face. Please don't poison me. Okay, good. One more Horn attack, and that should be it. Very good. Unfortunately, no level ups for us this time. You really are strong. It's too bad. If you were to join Team Rocket, you could become an executive. People always ask for a game where they want to play alongside Team Rocket, but everyone in Team Rocket is just really bad at battling, so I don't know why they want to do that. This hideout is done for, but that's fine. The broadcast experiment was a total success. It doesn't matter what happens to this hideout now. We have much bigger plans. You'll come to appreciate Team Rocket's true powers soon enough. Enjoy yourself while you can. Foo. And off they go. That did it. We defeated all the Rockets here, but I'm concerned about the young guy I battled in the process. Sorry, David, I saw how well you were doing, so I just hung back. Now all there is left to do is to turn off that odd radio signal. It's this machine that's causing all the problems. I don't see a switch on it. We have no choice. We have to make all the electrode faint. That should stop this machine from transmitting that strange signal. It's no fault of the Pokémon, so it makes me feel guilty. David, let's split the job. He will take the 3 electrode on the right, we will take the 3 electrode on the left. Now, all 3 of these electrode, as far as I can tell, aside from randomly generated wild Pokémon stats and stuff like that, are identical. All these electrode are level 23, and you are required to either defeat them or capture them. You are actually allowed to capture them. And this actually isn't a terrible idea because Electrode is straight up the fastest Pokemon in the entire game as of this point in the series. So I think it's actually definitely worth a shot trying to catch him. Anyway, all 3 of these fights are the same, so I think I'm just going to cut the other 2 out because they're identical and they're not very interesting. So I will meet you on the other side of this little jump. Alright, during that cut, Eevee grew to level 28, but didn't learn the move I wanted, so I think we're actually going to have to wait until level 30, if my memory serves correctly. That odd signal has finally stopped. The lake should be back to normal. You're the hero. Let me thank you on behalf of all the Pokemon. Oh, yes, you should take this. I found it here, but I don't have any need for it. Here we get HM06. Very cool. That's Whirlpool. Teach it to a Pokemon to get across wild water. But keep this in mind. You can use that out of battle only with the badge from Mahogany Gym. David. The journey to becoming the Pokemon Master is long and difficult. Knowing that, will you keep going? I see. No, you're right. If you would give up that easily, you would have never chased that dream in the first place. I look forward to seeing you again. And off he goes. Off to wherever it is he goes. Anyway, our business is done here. We are now free to head out. Now, unfortunately, this shop, as of right now, still is not open for business. Although it will open up for business later, it seems that that time is not now. Alright, and with that, I think we are going to be ending things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Crystal, we conquered the Team Rocket HQ in the basement of the strange shop in Mahogany Town, and we presumably have saved all of the Magikarp in Lake of Rage. Very, very cool. However, we received a bit of an ominous warning that what happened here today was only the beginning, so it should be interesting to see how things play out from here. And next time on Pokemon Crystal, I think first we're going to go check out a few things around that have changed now that we have ousted Team Rocket from their hideout, and then I think we're going to go check out the Mahogany Gym. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.